For years, I did everything I was supposed to do. I chased the promotions, the money, the validation from others. But the more I got, the more empty and undervalued I felt. It wasn't until I stopped trying to find my worth in other people's approval and made one simple internal shift that everything changed. In this video, I'm going to share how I learned to value myself first, and I'll give you the exact steps you can take to do the same. It felt like I was running a race with no finish line. I got the degree, landed the good job, and climbed the corporate ladder. I bought the stuff I thought would make me happy. With every milestone, there was a quick, fleeting rush. A like on social media, a good job from a boss, a nod of approval from people I barely knew. These little hits of external validation were like sugar rushes. They felt great for a second, but the crash always left me feeling more hollow than before. I was a chameleon, changing my opinions, even my personality, just to fit in and be accepted. I was terrified of being judged, so I played it safe. I said yes when I was screaming no on the inside. I stayed quiet when I had something important to say. My entire sense of self was outsourced. It was in the hands of my colleagues, friends, and sometimes total strangers on the internet. My self-worth was so fragile, going up and down with every bit of feedback I got. The breaking point wasn't some loud explosion. It was a quiet implosion. I remember sitting in my car after a successful week at work. I'd closed a big deal, gotten a public shout-out, and was praised by my bosses. I had everything I thought I wanted, and I felt nothing. The space inside me wasn't filled with pride. It was a vacuum. I realized that in my desperate race to be valued by everyone else, I had completely forgotten to value myself. I was a stranger to the one person who mattered most. This chase for validation was robbing me of my own life. I was living based on something I couldn't control, other people's opinions. That was the moment I knew something had to change. It was the start of a journey inward, a journey to reclaim my own worth. The first and critical shift was realizing that self-worth isn't a prize you win from the outside world. It's the foundation you build for yourself, brick by brick. It's knowing you are valuable, period, regardless of external achievements. For years, I had it all backwards. I thought, if I achieve X, then I'll be worthy. The truth is, you have to believe you're worthy first, and that belief is what empowers you to achieve anything you want. This starts with a conscious choice. Stop seeking external validation and start practicing internal validation. Internal validation is simply recognizing and accepting your own feelings and decisions without needing someone else to sign off on them. It's about becoming your own main source of approval. So, how do you actually do this? It starts with small, deliberate habits. The most powerful one I found is what I call daily decision ownership. Every day, commit to making one decision, big or small, entirely on your own. Don't poll your friends, don't ask your partner, don't text your family for their 2 cents. It could be as simple as choosing what to eat, deciding which task to start first, or picking a movie. The decision itself isn't the point. It's the muscle you're building. Every time you make a choice and own the outcome, good or bad, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I trust myself. I am capable. My judgment is valid. This practice builds trust in your own inner compass and helps you form your own opinions with confidence. It gradually rewires your brain to look for approval from within, not from without. Another daily practice is using positive affirmations, but with a twist. Don't just repeat empty phrases. Create affirmations that actually mean something to you. Instead of letting that voice say, "I'm not good enough," reframe it to, I have unique strengths and qualities, or I am learning and improving every day. This isn't about fooling yourself. It's about deliberately choosing a more empowering internal dialogue. You have to know your own strengths and what you value, because if you don't, other people will happily define you for you. If you're already feeling a shift just thinking about this and you want to continue on this path, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're going to explore these ideas much deeper in future videos, and I'd love for you to be part of this community. Once I started building that internal foundation, the next step was to build a framework around it to protect it. Your life, your relationships, and your success are a direct reflection of the standards you accept. When you value yourself, you naturally raise your standards for how you expect to be treated. This brings us to a crucial skill: setting healthy boundaries. For a chronic people pleaser, the word no can feel terrifying. But setting a boundary isn't an attack, it's an act of self-respect. Saying no to things that drain you or relationships that undervalue you is actually saying yes to your own well-being and your own future. Here's a practical step. The next time someone asks you for something, just pause. Ask yourself, is this truly in my best interest? Do I have the energy for this? Does this align with my goals? If the answer is no, practice saying it firmly but kindly. A simple, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now," is all you need. You'll find that setting boundaries doesn't push good people away. It teaches them how to treat you and creates healthier, more respectful relationships. The second part of this framework is to protect your focus. We live in a world of constant noise and distraction. Everyone wants a piece of your attention. But true confidence isn't built in the chaos of public opinion. It's forged in the quiet, disciplined hours of focused work. Think about it. The most confident people aren't always the loudest. They're the most competent. Their confidence comes from the work they put in when nobody is watching. This requires the discipline to cut out distractions. Turn off notifications. Set aside specific blocks of time for deep work. Be ruthless about protecting your mental space from the noise of social media and the 24/7 news cycle. When you learn to work quietly and master your skills, you stop needing applause because you have undeniable proof of your own competence. Your confidence is no longer built on the shaky ground of praise, but on the solid rock of your own ability. This builds a powerful self-image that doesn't depend on anyone else's approval. With a solid foundation and a protective framework, you now need an engine to move you forward. That engine is mastering your mind and committing to disciplined action. Self-respect isn't something you can just think about. It's earned by what you do, especially when you don't feel like. One of the most transformative habits is to finish what you start, especially the tasks you dread. We all have those tasks that hang over our heads, causing that low-level hum of anxiety. Procrastination is a form of self-disrespect. Every time you put off something you know you should do, you're telling yourself that your own commitments don't matter. Make it a rule. Don't carry an unfinished, avoided task into the next day. This isn't about being perfect. It's about training your mind to push through discomfort. When you consistently do the hard things, you build mental toughness and a powerful sense of self-respect. Completing tasks, especially dreaded ones, reduces anxiety and strengthens your confidence in a way nothing else can. Next, you have to practice emotional honesty and self-compassion. Valuing yourself doesn't mean you'll never feel doubt or fear. It means you face those emotions without letting them define you. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment. If you're having a tough day, just admit it. Say to yourself, "I'm feeling discouraged," and that's okay. Then follow that honesty with kindness. Treat yourself the way you treat a good friend. Instead of beating yourself up for a mistake, acknowledge your effort and remind yourself it's okay to be imperfect. This blend of honesty and kindness builds true inner strength. A huge realization on this journey is that you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of your thoughts. Your mind will generate thousands of thoughts a day, many of them negative or self-critical. The key is to detach from them. Practicing mindfulness, even for a few minutes, creates space between you and your thoughts, which helps reduce overthinking and anxiety.
There's a story about a woman who carried water in 2 jars. One was perfect, the other had a crack. Every day the cracked jar would arrive half empty and was ashamed of its flaw. But the woman pointed out that on the side of the path where she carried the cracked jar, beautiful wildflowers grew, watered daily by the leaks. Its perceived flaw was creating beauty it couldn't see. This is a powerful reminder to accept our whole selves. Our flaws don't make us less valuable. They are part of our story and can be a source of unexpected strength. The journey from seeking external validation to building internal self-worth is the single most important one you can take. It's the difference between a life that looks good on the outside and one that feels good on the inside. It's understanding that your potential isn't something you find out there by winning someone's approval. It's something you unlock in here by giving yourself your own. We talked about the 3 pillars for this shift. First, building the foundation of self-worth through internal validation and owning your decisions. Second, creating the framework to protect it by setting boundaries and protecting your focus. And third, powering it all with the engine of disciplined action by finishing what you start and practicing emotional honesty. This isn't a quick fix. It's a daily process of choosing yourself over and over. It's about taking small steps that build momentum. It's about realizing you don't need anyone else to tell you what you already know deep down. You are capable, you are deserving, and you are enough right now. Your worth is not up for debate. It's your birthright. Stop waiting for the world to give you permission to be great. Give it to yourself. This journey starts with one step. So I want you to leave a comment below and share one thing you'll do this week to value yourself more. Will you set a boundary? Finish that task you've been avoiding. Practice an affirmation. Sharing it makes it real, and reading the comments will inspire all of us. And if this resonated with you, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thank you for being here and for choosing to invest in the most important person in your life, you.